are on day 62. And guess what? According to this article that I'm about to show you, Karmelo Anthony will be returning to court doing the two motions. Now, I'm not sure about the motion to recuse John Roach, but he definitely will be returning to court for the motion for a new trial. More than 62 days ago, Karmelo Anthony was wrongfully convicted. And starting tomorrow, we will have only 8 days before August the 19th when he go in front of Judge Seal L. Harl for the motion to recuse John Roach. The focus now shifts directly to the next critical stage of this case. Will Karmelo Anthony receive a new trial judge? And also, will Karmelo Anthony get a new trial? I'm going to say yes to both of those because of that damaging and smoking gun of Mike Howard's affidavit. Now, do I think that Mike Howard is going to appear on the 19th and the 20th? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say, hey, listen, if Judge Sid L. Harrell has any issues with removing John Roach, like I say, in that appeal packet is Mike Howard's affidavit. One of the most damaging things that, well, I'm going to say the most solidifying thing that John Roach and the defense could do is request Mike Howard to come to the stage, and then he can tell the actual Judge Harrell exactly what the agreement was. Besides that interview that Judge Roach did on his own, the Mike Howard affidavit is a slam dunk, if you want to think about it in that sense. It was unethical. It was unlawful. Such an agreement, gentleman's agreement, secret agreement between the state and the prosecution, the judge, and a defense attorney. Well, 2. Let's not forget that detail. It was 2 because Toby Shook is the one that, you already know the story, but hold on. Tonight on Tony Talks Vested Up, we're going to break down Karmelo Anthony's self-defense case to claim a wrongful conviction. You know it is not a claim for wrongful conviction. The upcoming court proceeding and the legal questions that could determine what happens next. What argument will matter the most? What could the defense challenge? What authority does the court has at this stage? And could the possible upcoming proceedings ultimately affect the conviction, the sentence, or a possible new trial? And I'm going to say yes to all of that. Let me go ahead and bring up this article here. So y'all can see exactly what I'm referring to. Hold on. And welcome to Tony Talks Vested Up, Compelling Sports Edge. This is what we've been waiting for. Go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here. Tony Talks Vested Up, Compelling Sports Edge. Did y'all see this right here? Let me go ahead and close this tab. That was StreamYard. Here we go. Karmelo Anthony seeks a new trial. And you see the article of this date. This was today's article. Lawyers of convicted murderer. Oh, harsh tones. Lawyers of wrongfully convicted self-defense hero, Karmelo Anthony is arguing that his trial violated his constitutional rights and are seeking a new trial. Court hearings regarding the potential new trial and the removal of the judge will be open to observers, but not live stream at this particular time. Anthony Legal's team claims the trial was effectively closed to the public. Prosecutors did not honor an evidential agreement, and jury instructions made it difficult to consider self-defense. Why they're leaving out the secret gentleman's agreement, the handshake deal, but we already know that this article is already biased based off how it started off. The defense also requests the removal of John Roach from post-trial hearings due an alleged bias. It's not alleged. Even Judge John Roach had said that he agreed with the verdict that killed all possibilities of him being part of the new trial once it's granted. Anthony was found guilty of first-degree M in a fatal poking of 17-year-old Metcalf at a 2025 track meet and was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Attorneys representing Karmelo Anthony has filed 2 legal motions as they overturn the 19-year-old M conviction. According to news released from an advocacy group supporting Anthony, his legal team has filed motions requesting a new trial and asking Collin County District John Roach to be removed from presiding over all remaining post-trial proceedings. Now, my mother only answered 3 questions up there with 1 sentence answers. Okay, if you still having issues with Mike Howard's affidavit and not believing the validity of it, why Mike Howard's, Karmelo Anthony defense attorney, did not call any expert witness? See, I'm thinking outside of the box. Even though, yes, I'm very biased for Karmelo Anthony because I think this young man was railroad, and I know this young man was railroad, right? But for anybody that has an issue or think that Mike Howard's affidavit is not real, we must ask ourselves, well, if it's not real, why does Mike Howard affidavit stated that the prosecution and the judge said by bringing expert witness to testify would actually support Karmelo Anthony character, reputation, and it would be extra, what was the word? Evidence, right? Now, based off everything that we know regarding this trial, expert witnesses were not called, not a one, not even the expert witness that was going to speak on Karmelo Anthony's epilepsy disorder, not a one. And regarding the punishment phase, and before we even got to the punishment phase, how many witnesses was called for the defense? What, his mother and maybe 3 or 4 others? When Karmelo Anthony, especially when it comes to a self-defense case, it should have been a plethora of character witnesses called to the stands that was going to speak about his character, right? And the type of young man that he was. So if Mike Howard's affidavit is not valid and not a real thing, why nobody in the whole entire trial, even though it was a 4 to 5 day trial, why nobody talked about Karmelo Anthony character, his accolades, his accomplishments, his 3.7 GPA, his 21 scholarships, being captain of the football team and being captain of the track team, working 2 jobs. He saved a young boy's life. Even the mother said if she would have known, she would have been there to testify. If Mike Howard would have called her or even called her to the stand, she would have made sure she was there. Okay. Well, Tony, you being biased. Okay, so let me flip the script then. If Mike Howard's affidavit is not valid, why nobody spoke about Austin Metcalf, racist remark, the arrest records, the graffiti, the racist graffiti, what else? His fighting on the football field, his bullying, his racism, his, how can I say it? His family dynamics. The same thing for Austin and Hunter Metcalf. Why nobody could talk about his bullying, his aggression, what else? His arrest record, his graffiti, his racism, all of these things that the community knew about both of these particular twins of bullies, right? So if Mike Howard's affidavit was not a real thing and not valid, why none of this was discussed? Well, I want to see, hold on. I still want to go look for if you say they undropped the transcripts, come on, let's see here. Because let me tell you one, $2,500 for some partial transcripts, that's what I had an issue with. I had an issue, $2,500 for a partial transcript, and they send a notice out about 4 days ahead of time. You don't believe me? Hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. If you don't believe me, because I remember the website. Matter of fact, what Tony Talks vested up, where you get that information from? From the actual Collins County website. And I think it's still there. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get this transcripts. Hold on. Let me see if I can find them transcripts. For $2,500, ooh. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, the first thing that popped up, here we go. Let me share my window. The first thing that popped up is this here. I'm not going to forget about this case. Listen. You see this date right here? July the 24th of 2026. This is where I got that information from. If you scroll down, because they updated Exhibit 4 and Exhibit 9, and I tried to play that for you. Look at this update trial transcript. You see that? Do you see this right here? The trial transcripts for State of Texas versus Karmelo Anthony, cause number, you see that cause number, are available below. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. They undid some more. Hold on, y'all. Breaking news. Now, y'all remember on the 24th, these was not here. Now, hold on. Oh, they did some more updates on here. Do y'all remember this? See, Exhibit 4, Exhibit 9. Remember, I wasn't lying, so they did some more updating for this right here. Hold on. Because if I didn't know what I was talking about, how did I know about the website had an Exhibit 4 and an Exhibit 9? Now, Exhibit 4, all Exhibit 4 was John Roach's interview, that whole entire infamous 18 interview, breaking news. And Exhibit 9 was of a young lady. She was in the car. It had to be about 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, and she's talking to an officer about how to get access to the courtroom, right? So that's all that was. But hold on. No, this wasn't here. Collins County's Commissioner Court orders, that wasn't here. 296 district court orders, this wasn't here. Let's see here. Update, this wasn't here. This information wasn't here, so they have updated it. Let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what's in here, y'all. Let's see what's in here. Oh, listen, let me tell you what, whoever paid $2,500, I hope you got more than these 5 attachments that we're going to see. Okay, y'all see this right here? Volumes of Volume 4 and Volume 9. Hold on, let me see how many is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they paid the whole entire $2,500, I hope they got all 9 volumes. So based off this, Volume 1 is missing, 2 is missing, 3 is missing. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is missing. So let's go to Volume 4. Okay. What, 200 and something pages? Okay. Trial jury. Let's see right here. Proceedings reported by computerized stenotype machine. Jan Duggar, that's her name, y'all, that you had to send $2,500 into. Jane Duggar. Hold on. Just in case, let me go ahead and, is it going to let me download this? Let me go ahead and download this because you know how they are online. Hold on. Download this one. Let me go ahead and download this because you can't even really find Mike Howard's affidavit anymore freely as we found it on the 9th of July. Let me go ahead and download these right here just in case somebody want to take these off. But thank you to that Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Let me go ahead and download these. And I'll be able to pull them straight up on the screen. Hold on, Nikki. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Okay. 1 second. Thank you for this, Nikki. Hold on. Downloads. Let me go to 4. Volume 4. Here we go. Let me stop sharing. It's processing. All right, let me go ahead and start. Let me see here. I can't read 290. You already know. Ooh, 96 pages, impossible. But we can start. Okay, so here we go. We got case call by the court. I see page number. Objection to the court's charge. Closing by the defense. Closing by the state. The verdict. The punishment phase. State's rest. Witnesses. Kayla Hayes. Directed by the state. Cross-examined by the defense. Defense rest. Closing by the state. Closing. Let's see him. Let me scroll here. Let me go ahead. Let me show you exactly what I'm looking at. Y'all see this? Closing by the defense. Closing by the state. Verdict. Court reporter certificate. Well, let's see him. Closing by the state. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's just go page 13. Let's see what page 13 has. Page 13. Hold on. Let's see here. Closing by the defense. Page 13. Page 13. All right. That says 13. Okay. I want to make sure this matches up. It says slides 13. What page number is this? I hope it's... Oh, let me take this off right here. Let me take this off right here. Let me see if I can see some page numbers on here. It's not showing. Give me 1 second. All right. So let me go back here then. Let me just go and share my screen. I wanted to give you a screen presentation, but it's not going to let me. And I definitely want you to read what I'm going to say. All right, the courts. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to turn over it to the lawyers for the closing arguments. We are going to start with the state of Texas, Mr. Wilkie. Mr. Wilkie said, Your Honors, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would waive our right to open and reserve our right to respond. Okay, Mr. Howard. Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Yes, sir, counsel. This is what Mike Howard says. Here we go. Now, we already know that this young man is railroad, so I really don't expect that I'm going to hear anything that's going to tickle, give me pause, or say, good job, Mike Howard, but let's go ahead and read. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Austin Metcalf had no legal right to use force to eject Karmelo Anthony from the tent. Facts. He had the right to ask him to leave. No, he didn't. But he didn't have the right to use illegal force to eject him. Thank you, Nikki, for this. He is not defending himself. He is not defending himself. He's not defending a third party. He is not ejecting Melo from his home. He has no legal right to put his hands on Karmelo. Karmelo Anthony is in a public place. Before I go into the facts, this jury charge is extremely important. It is why the judge just read to you. It is why the judge just read to you. It is why you get to take it back with you to help you guide you through your deliberations. There is a reason why we started talking about this stuff in the jury selection. And then I said it over and over throughout the trial. Then you hear it again in the jury charge. Then you get to take a copy back, and it even starts at the very top of the jury charge when it talks about all persons are presumed innocent and no person may be convicted unless, God darn it, didn't I say this? Now, Mike Howard did put this in here. Now, I know we talked about this. It says, when it says that all persons are presumed innocent and no person may be convicted unless each and every element of the defense of the offense is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Y'all better put it in the chat. Don't y'all remember me telling y'all that? I read it over and over and over and over. And it also says in that slide that I was reading is that if the prosecution cannot prove each and every element of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt, an acquittal must happen. Acquittal must be given. It is a government burden to rule out it is the government's burden to rule out very logical, possible, reasonable doubt, including self-defense as it has been raised and you've been charged. And if they can't, the verdict has to be not guilty. Okay, Mike Howard. The presumption of innocence alone is sufficient to acquit the defendant unless you are satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt. The government must rule out every logical, possible, reasonable doubt, including self-defense, or your verdict must be not guilty. Okay? It is required that the prosecution proof excludes all reasonable doubt, including the defendant's guilt. This is such an important thing that we tell you over and over and over in the law in different ways, because we know that it is not the way we as humans being normally thinks. It is normally not the answer. It's definitely this, unless now why this lady this lady right here didn't get everything, but I guess she was doing her best. It was normally not the answer. It's definitely this, unless I have no reasonable doubt in mind about it, right? What? Mike Howard ain't said that sentence like that. Mike Howard ain't talked like that. That's not the way human beings think. Y'all need to fire Miss Duggar. James Duggar, y'all need to fire her. I'm trying to, this is, okay, let me keep going. Let me focus. But when, yeah, let me pause. Yeah, I'm being petty because this young man's life, his freedom, this young man was wrongfully convicted and in a criminal trial that only took 5 days, and somebody mess up. And it also said the transcript was created on a customized, a computerized stenotype machine. Let me keep going. But when we ask you guys to come down here and answer the call to perform your civic duty, which is jury duty, that you have, we all appreciate. We ask you this incredible tough task is to follow the law, which you told us you will, and I know you will. And then you can take this back there. But if you go to page 5, then when it talks about reasonable doubt, when it talks about self-defense, it goes and says, if you further find from the evidence or have a reasonable doubt, therefore, that is self-defense, you must acquit the defendant. I know Mike Howard ain't talk like this. Listen. If y'all have any record clerk, if you ever done this type of work before, let me know if this is the standard, because maybe this is shorthand record taking. Okay, I'm not sure, but I thought when they are taking notes or using whatever the device that they normally use, especially in a criminal case, I thought they're supposed to write down every word. But if this is the standard, let me know, okay? And maybe I would get off Jane Duggar. But let's keep going. So let's talk about the case. The government wants to make this case about Melo. He wouldn't just use his name like that, would he? He should be saying Mr. Anthony. Melo could have just left. Let me start again. The government wants to make this case about Melo could have just left. And I understand that. It is a natural thing to think. And he could have. It is true. He didn't have a legal duty to. He didn't have to, but he could have. I'm sure he wish he did. We all do. Jane Duggar, CSR 296 District Court, Jane Duggar. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna try to get through it. Hold on. I'm gonna try to get through it. Okay, hold on. Let me close down some tabs. StreamYard is going a little crazy now. Let me close down some tabs. All right. You heard that a track event is a social event. Everybody but, hold on. Let me close this too. You hear a track event is a social event. Everybody but a memorial team seems to believe that before, on April the 2nd, 2025, and before, it was completely common for kids to be milling around to see their friends that they went to middle school with, or their friends that happen to be friends with their girlfriend or whatever, and go by and say hi, stop into the tent, sit down maybe 30 seconds, maybe 10 minutes, and think it's perfectly okay. We know that it was raining. I don't know why we had to have an argument about rain, but in the opening statement, the government said that it was a light rain. It's not a big deal, but you saw it and you heard testimony from their own witnesses from Memorial about hard rain on and off. Oh my God, they was talking about clouds. Hold on, y'all. God, they were. Hold on. Let me get this charger here. I see we're gonna be here for a while. Hold on. Let me charge this up. Oh. Okay, I got the battery in. All right. They was talking about on and off, ominous clouds, dark clouds coming in. And we all know that we can use our reasonable doubt, reasonable common sense. We are all here in Texas. We know how Texas weather is. Listen, this cannot be part of his closing arguments. I know he did not talk about the weather during his closing arguments. Well, I guess if you are limited in what you can say, I guess you had to fill in the blanks with weather. It pours and then it stops and then you think it's done and then it pours again. So it's reasonable to think, boy, I better get out from under this tent. And even when the rain starts, like, yeah, but I don't know. Let me roll up my sleeves. Now in their opening statement, Mr. Wilkie for the government said that Melo slipped. Oh, okay, hold on, here we go. Now in their opening statement, Mr. Wilkie for the government said that Melo slipped into the tent like it was some sneak, except for his own witnesses said, oh yeah, I saw him. He walked right up. He sat next to me, said to blank, crazy weather, huh? It must have been Eddie. Not that. That's not exactly sneaking in, slipping in. Multiple of their own witnesses said that he was called over. To everybody, hold on. This is a nugget to everybody that said that Karmelo Anthony just went into people's tent. Hey, this is the closing the closing statements from Mike Howard's affidavit. Here we go. It says right here, multiple of their own witnesses said he was called over by, I'm pretty sure it was Eddie Para. Multiple witnesses said it was friendly. They seemed friendly. They talked, they dapped each other up, they talked. Said that he thought Melo was taking shelter from the rain. All these names are redacted. So yeah, we had no problem with him being under the tent while it rained. So this is what Mike Howard is saying in his closing statement, is that the government witnesses even said that from what they accounted, that Melo came under the tent, he was invited, he was friendly. They was dapping each other up, and they had no issues with him being under the tent. Let's keep going. Okay. We had no problem for all the slow people in the back to all of the trolls in the back. This is what the government, the prosecution witnesses said. We had no problem with him being under the tent while it rained. So the charge that you have read and you have heard and you will read, it's, I'm sure, over and over that you have to consider the facts from Karmelo Anthony's shoes. You have to put yourself in his shoes when you make these important decisions about whether the government has ruled out all the logical possible reasonable doubt that he was defending himself. Okay, so he was requested and given the green light to be under the tent. Gotcha. Okay, so you start under the tent. Okay, you walk. You're trying to get out of the rain. You are looking for a spot. We have heard the Liberty tent was packed to the grill. Right next to it was Memorial tent. Hey, I know people from Memorial. You walk over there, and sure enough, one of the people you know from Memorial says, "Hey man, come over here." I'm pretty sure that's Eric Parra. You sit down, crazy weather, huh? You talk. It is friendly. Everything seems fine. Everything is fine for several minutes. After all, you have been there before, and there was no problem before. So it is true. Based off this right here, Karmelo Anthony, it was not his first time being under Memorial's tent. Now, for what I heard before we got all these details, is that he has been under the Memorial tent. And the reason why the Metcalf brother didn't know that is because they were suspended during the other times that Karmelo Anthony was under the tent, allegedly, right? Allegedly. I got to say allegedly. But according to this, in Mike Howard's closing arguments, nobody had an issue with him being under the tent. After all, you have been there before and there was no problem before. After all, it is super common for kids to walk around and see their friends, which is true. Here we go. And then all of a sudden, redacted or Austin, a little unclear which one was first, confronted and say, "Who are you? You need to leave." And I think it is reasonable in that situation for you to be confused. Okay, wait a minute. What do you mean? It is raining. I have got no tent. I'm just here talking to my friend. You heard testimony that Melo said no one had a problem with me being here, but y'all talking to, I'm assuming, Hunter and Austin Metcalf. Let's not do that, Collin County. It is reasonable to think, why are they so mad? You heard the testimony. Okay, hold on, y'all. You heard the testimony that it started out being medium mad, and then Blank got more mad, got more and more mad as he said it over and over. So it is reasonable to think you were kidding. We all had someone joke with us, and they do it super serious, and we don't know for half a second then, and then we are like, oh, okay, so is he kidding? Oh, no. Is he really mad? Okay. Then you ask yourself, as multiple people are around you in this 15 to 20 persons tent, where there is not much room for anybody else to sit unless you and Redacted said cram them in, as Redacted is getting more and more mad and Austin is joining in. That has to be Hunter. That has to be Hunter. This has to be Hunter. So these guys allegedly, these guys who are much bigger than you, Austin and Hunter, we can definitely infer that. Blake is sitting right in front of you, turned around, telling you to leave angrily, more and more angry. Do you turn your back and walk away and take a chance that these angry teenage boys with raging hormones and all of their teammates around you, do they grab you from behind where you can't defend yourself? Do their teammates jump in? Okay. I think it is a really important fact that you have heard over and over that Melo was seated throughout all of this. I put all, but it is a really important fact that you heard over and over that Melo was seated throughout all of this. And I will be fair, there were some witnesses who said that he stood, but I think it was pretty clear from all of the witnesses over and over, Melo was seated this whole entire time. He was still seated. As they stood up, he was still seated. And they came toward him, and he still seated. As they stood over him, he was still seated. Come on. For sure, Austin and Hunter Metcalf and their friends had a right to tell Melo to leave. Of course they did, but they didn't have the legal right to use force to eject him. Come on. You heard the testimony that although there wasn't a coach under the tent right that second, that there are coaches everywhere. There are coaches walking by the Liberty tent, coaches walking around. You can easily go get a coach and say, hey, we got this kid in our tent. We don't want him there, and he is not leaving. And then an adult can come over and handle this situation. But a hit, a shove, a push is a lawful use or attempt to use force, and Melo had an absolute right to defend him against that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this thing about self-defense is that, of course, you can't use it too early before it is justified, but you can't use it too late either. And the rub, the devil of the details, is how you know in a split second of chaos when it is too late. But if you wait until it is too late to defend yourself, self-defense is meaningless. It is an empty right. You're right. The law says that you are justified to use even deadly force when and to the degree you reasonably believe that it is an immediate unnecessary against, that it is immediately necessary against someone's use or attempted unlawful use of deadly force. And of course, deadly force is defined in the jury's instructions is force that is capable of causing death and also seriously bodily injury, which is also defined for you, right? So we heard all the way back in jury selection, which I know feels like a month ago, and it does to me too, but all the way back in jury selection, veneer person number 19 on the front row happened to be a law enforcement officer. Police officer said, if someone punches me in the face and I fall and break my neck, yeah, a punch can kill. It also breaks your jaw. Serious bodily injury, especially when someone is much bigger than you, 1'6", 213 pounds versus, now according to their mother, they was 235 pounds, but still 213 pounds versus a 5'7", 5'8", 130. Especially when 6'1", 213 is multiplied by 2 with 10 or 15 or 20 of their teammates around them. Oh, I can see where this is about to go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we heard a lot of differing accounts from the kids that were under the tent. Judge, I don't think I was asked for a warning, but can I get a 5-minute warning? The court said yes. Mr. Howard, thank you, Judge. We heard a lot of different accounts from the kids under the tent. I know that it is obvious, but let me just say this. Every single one of them from Memorial kids. Every single one of them are Memorial kids. That doesn't mean they are liars. It doesn't mean they are bad. Of course not. But it does mean, and it is common sense, that we should be on guard for them having a bias. That is facts, because of course they would. Austin was their teammate, their brother, their leader. They looked up to him. Let's keep going. There is nothing wrong with that at all. But it is completely logic to ask yourself, well, I don't know. Are they telling the story completely naturally or neutrally and fairly? That doesn't mean you have to think that they are intentionally changing their story. Mm? Because of course, we know that unconscious bias, sometimes we want something to be true so much, we are we are so hurt that we convince ourselves of something differently, especially when we're all talking to each other and hearing what they said happened. So we heard a very jumbled account of what happened under the tent. Where's Mello sitting? He is in the top right corner. He is in the center. He's at the bottom. He is to the left. He is right. Where's Austin and Hunter? Stop redacting their name. We know who this is. They are to his left. They are to his right. They are right below him. They are 2 rows down. They are 5 rows down. How hard was the contact? It was just a nudge. It was light. It was hard. It was a shove. It was a hit. It was a lineman drill. It was a linebacker, just like a linebacker hit. We heard a jumble of what Mello did when he left the tent. He ran. He walked calmly. He tried to escape. He tried to blend in. He went into the track. He went to the track to a coach. But thankfully, we have a video. The state's very first witness, Mark Porter, their expert on the video, highlighted when Mello is scrambling down the bleacher, he falls, he goes down, he slows down on a slick bleachers. When he's trying to make the transition onto the concrete path, then he speeds up again. Then he slows down again as he near where the exit out of the stadium is and the entrance to the field is. And Mark Porter was Mike Porter was asked, could he have just continued out towards the parking lot? Yes, he could have, he said. What did he do? He turned back to the field, not exactly escaping like the guilty do. Come on with it. As I think was said in the opening statement, facts. I said this many times ago that Karmelo Anthony, if he really committed premeditated, you know that word, he would have kept going and going and going and going. And he definitely would not have dropped the weapon. Come on with it. Come on. You also heard that Mike Porter's testimony that the kids was running in all directions to get out of the stadium, but not Mello. Mello had every opportunity to go right outside of the exits, facts. But instead, he turned around, he turns right onto the field and directly to Coach Hopper or Hooper. Mark Porter highlighted something I'll tell you. In the hundreds of times I have watched those videos, I have never seen until he highlighted it for us. And it is clear as a bell that while Hooper has Mello and they're walking around, Hooper lets go of Mello and walks away. Then he says Mello walks further out onto the track, not out. He doesn't. Oh, I can get away now. No, he walks further onto the track where there are coaches and then turns around and walks right back to Hooper into his arms. We heard about Mello's emotions. Let's see here. Every single person who saw him down on the track said he was crying or emotional or hysterical or distraught. All words that was used by various witnesses. Coach Whitaker, Memorial, he was crying. Coach Hooper, Heritage, he was crying. Coach Starr, Memorial, he was hysterical. From Centennial, he was crying. Officer Cortez, he was emotional. And although he said he didn't know what the crying sound like, he finally admitted that yes, he was crying. Everybody but Coach Starr said that his emotions was genuine. Both Hooper and Redacted actually used the words genuine. Starr says he was calm. And then when I asked him what did he do, and of course he admitted that he was angry and that he had every right to. But when he yelled at the 17-year-old kid, what did you do? Hold on, let me get this right. But when he yelled at the 17-year-old kid, what did you do? He said he went from calm to historically crying. Guess the implications being that they were crocodile tears, that they were faking it? I don't know. That he was faking it? I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, you can make reasonable deductions from the evidence. I ask you, what do they know? I'm sorry, what do we know about someone who is distraught, crying, emotional? They go to someone like Hooper, who even though he didn't know this young man, was doing everything he could to comfort him, had his arms around him. God bless Coach Hooper. And then what did he say? I turned him over to the Centennial coaches. So Coach Hooper was not a Centennial coach. I turned him over to the Centennial coaches. Why? Because they know this kid. They can comfort him more. So Karmelo Anthony ran up basically to a coach that he didn't know to try to get help and tell what was happening or what happened to him in that stadium. Karmelo Anthony, in his frightened stage, still being in the mode of self-defense, he ran up not to a coach that he knew. He ran up to a complete stranger looking for help because he was just jumped. He didn't run away. He didn't even run to somebody that would say, hey, I can run to this coach and give my alibi because I know they're going to be on my side. No, Karmelo Anthony ran to a complete stranger, another coach, and who I can't remember, but Coach Harper could actually be a memorial coach. So why? Why would he run to a memorial coach, somebody that don't know him, can't be biased, can't take his side? But Karmelo Anthony was seeking a comfort. He was seeking help. He was just jumped. You mean the jury? So the jury didn't even consider that Karmelo Anthony didn't even run to his own coach. He ran to a complete stranger, a coach he didn't know, to seek help. And they thought that Karmelo Anthony committed first-degree M-word. Oh, the jury. Do y'all see why I got mad at the jury? Do y'all see why I had an issue with the jury? Okay, let's keep going. Okay, hold on. So this emotional person, this kid, is going from an incredible distraught. He's coming down because Hooper is a coming influence. I think we all saw that. And then he is given to his own coaches. They calm him down. Okay, now I'm safe. I know these guys. And then Coach Starr walks up and I understand, but he asks him aggressively, what did you do? He threw his hat. Oh, okay. Yeah, he got emotional at that moment. Does that mean they are fake tears? No. He had to get back on defense because Karmelo Anthony, you just had got surrounded and jumped on by memorial players, team track members, and you go run to your coach, to somebody else's coach. They turn you over to the coach, and the next thing you know, you're getting an emotional coach. I'm assuming Coach Starr is from Memorial. Hey, I'm gonna jump back too. I'm gonna get back in my self-defense posture because now I don't know what you're gonna do to me. What else did you hear from Harper? Harper said, if that young man dies, your life just changed. 2 words. What did he say? Melo said he's not gonna die. And Hooper was asked, What do you think he meant by that? And Hooper said it was clear that he didn't think that he had stabbed him. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Look at this. And Hooper was asked, what did you think he meant by that? And Hooper said it was clear that Karmelo didn't think that he poked him in a place he would die. You know, it's been an ongoing consensus that Austin's body had 2 poker wounds. Because Karmelo didn't. It's a lot to pull out of this, because if Karmelo knew that or thought he hit him in the chest, you know, he wouldn't say, oh, he's not going to die. Everybody know if you hit somebody in the chest with a knife, hey, the possibility is there. So, y'all, this is opening up a can of probability. Listen, I think that tells you a lot about the state of mind throughout all of this. The intent, the knowledge. This is very important. The intent. Now, Mike Howard, I see you tried to do what you did. I see this. Because if Karmelo Anthony had the intentions of really trying to do damage to Austin Metcalf, oh, he would have said, yeah, I hit him in the chest. Oh, I meant to hit him in the chest. He was coming at me. Okay, Mike Howard. About the knowledge. And then what did Officer Ortiz said? That Melo asked him, was he going to be okay? So now Hooper has put in his mind, you know, that kid could die. And the first adults he got a chance to talk to, is he going to be okay? And the first adults he get a chance to talk to, he is going to be okay. I think that tells you a lot about his state of mind, whether it was intentional or not. That is facts. That is facts. We've heard a lot of different accounts from the kids under the tent on Memorial. But I will tell you, redacted, I know there was 30-something witnesses. And some of the witnesses, we all know that Mike Howard couldn't call because they was actually on the defense side of the house. You may not remember him specifically, but the poor young man who had to go to take an SAT and then come down here and testify. The state didn't call him. We did. And I felt horrible doing that. Excuse me. But this is the most important day in everyone's lives. And bless him, he did what he needed to do. He came down here and he told the clearest story, the most neutral story, the fair story, when asked about what he said back then. And yeah, that's what happened. Damn, I wish, who is that so I can read his testimony? And what did he say? He said, Austin. He said, Austin. As this is triggering and escalating and getting more and more heated, that Austin stood up and said, if you don't move, I'll move you. Or if you don't, I'll beat your ass. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Do y'all remember it was a clip that Jeff Metcalf, he almost slipped up and said that his son was going to utter these same words. Do y'all remember that it was a clip? It was one of them, one of those interviews that Jeff Metcalf said with one of them. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Jeff Metcalf said in one of those interviews, he almost slipped up and said that his son was going to say those same exact words. And Jeff Metcalf, he stopped himself, because that would have showed proof that Austin and Hunter was the aggressors. And we don't have to even go back to that, because don't forget Mike Howard's affidavit, paragraph number 23, when it said that the prosecution, it said, don't even worry about being about the ambiguous aggressor, is because the prosecution knew that Austin was the first aggressor of this account. Hold on. Now, let me say it again. Come on. I got to know this student name. Hold on. Now, We heard a lot of different accounts from the kids under the tent, all memorial. But I would tell you blank, I know there is 30 something witnesses. You may not remember him specifically, but the poor young man who had to go take the SAT and come down here to testify. The state didn't call him. Now we know why the state didn't call him. Mike Howard said, we did. And I feel terrible doing this, but this is the most important day in everybody's lives. And bless him. And bless him. He did what he needed to do. He came down here and told the clearest story. No wonder the prosecution didn't call him. The most neutral and fair story. No wonder the prosecution didn't call him. When asked about what he said back then, yeah, that's what happened. And what did he say? He said, Austin, as this is triggering and escalating and getting more and more heated, that Austin stands up and said, if you don't move, I'll move you. Or if you don't move, I'll beat your ass. Oh my gosh. I think that says a lot about if you are putting yourself in Melo's shoes as the law requires you to. What fears you would have been dealing with as a much smaller person with this much larger person who is getting more and more angry and threatening to beat your ass. Oh, Austin. Oh, Austin, Metcalf. Oh, Hunter, Metcalf. I want to get to the part. What did Hunter say was an accident? Hold on. I wish I would have known that kid's name. But to whoever that kid is, thank you so much. Ooh. The clearest and the most neutral story out of all those witnesses called to the stand, whoever he is. And as Officer Cortez, Officer Shaz, Officer Riley, and our friend, number 19 is the police officer that said about a punch can kill, right? A punch can kill, okay? I'll tell you, a punch by itself, it's right here. A punch by itself can cause death and serious body injury, especially when you're much bigger and stronger and angry. So this is the picture that Mike Howard was saying, that when Austin stood up and that other kid said it was getting hotter and more heat and triggering, escalating, all Karmelo Anthony. Now, this is what Mike Howard was doing, y'all. Even though Mike Howard couldn't picture, well, I guess he is in sort of kind of way he is trying to justify what Karmelo Anthony was thinking in his men racer. All Karmelo Anthony was doing, and a lot of people said that Karmelo Anthony was still sitting there the whole entire time. So imagine you sitting down and you got somebody 213, 220, 225 pounds standing on top of you. And they talking down at you. Know he was talking down at him. So Karmelo Anthony is looking up, and all he can see is if somebody touches, all you finna think about, somebody's gonna reach down and punch you in your face. This is what Mike Howard was trying to piece together, but the jury was so damn dumb. Hold on, now, come on now. Even listen. Even Mike Howard untold the jury by this time. Put yourself in Karmelo Anthony's shoes. How many times Mike Howard said, put yourself in Karmelo Anthony's shoes? So if you're sitting down, jury, imagine somebody coming up on you and they're getting hostile and it's getting heated and you seeing memorial. Everybody's memorial. And Mike Howard already said that the reason why he probably was thinking that why he didn't leave, because, hey, if I get up and turn my back, is somebody going to jump on me? Y'all, I see what Mike, he was trying. I think he was trying in this closing statement. Here we go. And as those very same officers, Officer Cortez, Officer Shaz, Officer Riley, all told you, as much as we may want that, as much as we may or may not like it, Texas law is very clear. So even the officers Hold on. Several officers, 1, 2, 3, had said Texas law is very clear. Even a 17-year-old kid can have a 5.5-inch knife or under, a pocket knife, a utility tool, a Leatherman, just like the one he had. Hold on. Which was 3.5 inches in a public place. Yes, even at a high school stadium. Yes. Is it a violation of policy? Yes. Were they notified? I'm sure they were. Were they signs? I don't know. If you see a sign where you walk into the stadium, but sure. Let's say they all did, but it's not a crime. It is not engaging in criminal activity, and that it is an important factor because it becomes a consideration in self-defense. Guys, Texas law does not require you to wait until you get hit. Come on with it. That you wait until you see if the punch is going to knock you out, because that's absurd. Because the thing about self-defense is that you can't wait until it's too late. So ask yourself, has the government ruled out your reasonable doubts? When you put yourself in Melo's shoes in that split second of chaos under the tent as it rained, as the ominous clouds roll in, as you got people to your left or your right or in front of you. Oh my God. Okay. Blank redacted said that he was on the row behind him. Okay, hold on. So although the government went out of their way to say that nobody had gone around him, like a sneak attack, like they were trying to surround him, well, they own witnesses said, hold on, if you see, hold on, look at it, look. Like a sneak attack, like they are trying to surround him. Well, their own witnesses said he was behind him. Whoever this person is right here, please, Karmelo Anthony new defense team, please call whoever this redacted person said. He said that he was on the row behind him. So Karmelo Anthony was surrounded underneath that tent. And how he got past that person behind, he must have ran over them. Listen, even the person said, yeah, I was behind Karmelo Anthony. Yeah, he said it. He said, yeah, he was on the row behind him. So although the government went out of their way to say that nobody had surrounded him, don't forget that article I brought up last week where somebody changed their testimony under cross-examination. First, they said, yeah, the people were surrounding Karmelo Anthony before the altercation. And then he changed his testimony after cross-examination, said, oh, no, everybody was around Karmelo Anthony after the attack. The devil is a lie, because we saw even on that distorted video that when Karmelo Anthony did what he did, he ran up them bleachers and nobody was around him. Nobody couldn't even catch him. Stop playing. Although the government went out of their way to say that nobody had gone around him like a sneak attack, they are trying to surround him. Well, their own witnesses said he was behind him. Was that his intent? I don't know. I'm not sure it was. But put yourself in Karmelo Anthony's shoes at that moment. So once again, Mike Howard said this 5 times. Put yourself in Karmelo Anthony's shoes. You got kids to the left, to the right, in front of you, and maybe behind you. Let's see here. And they're getting more and more and mad. They're getting more mad, more mad, more mad. And at first, you don't understand why. Because I just want to get out of the rain. I got pulled over here by Eddie. I'm going to say it. I got pulled over here by Eddie Para. He is my friend. He is my friend, I thought. Ooh, Karmelo Anthony realized that Eddie was the devil. I was just talking. Karmelo Anthony said, I was just talking. We was just talking. It was friendly. Crazy weather, huh? Why is this guy so mad? Is this real? I could see, like, is this guy for real? And then by the time he realizes, oh, he is for real, it is too late. Are you going to turn your back on a much bigger kid who is angrier than you realize, and you unfortunately let him get that angry? Maybe he is justified being that angry. Sure. Now hold on, Mike Howard. I don't see that, Mike Howard. Maybe it is reasonable to think, oh, maybe I don't want to turn my back on these kids. You ask yourself in that split second of chaos. I'm glad he's painting this as a chaos, though. Is it reasonably to worry that those kids might join in, that blank may pop in to defend his brother? Well, we already know who this is. Hunter Metcalf. That Hunter may pop in to defend his brother. Like one of those memorial kids said. If that kid right to your left is going to jump in, hold on. If that kid right to your left is going to join in, if that kid right to your right, who knows? The thing about a split second of chaos is the law understands that you cannot know what is unknowable. You can't know what is about to happen. I don't know what's in you guys' heart right now. You don't know what's in somebody's heart when they're in front of you. That's facts. Are they bluffing? Are they not? Are they really mad? Or are they just performing for their buddies? That is facts. So is it reasonable to feel that it is what are you terrified? What are you terrified it is? What you are terrified it is. Okay. That this guy is going to jump me and that his buddies are going to jump me and I'm going to get trapped under the bleachers, unable to defend myself. In a split second of chaos, you must put yourself in his shoes. Now, you didn't hear the word motive in the jury charge, and you can read it from front to back 100 times, and you won't find that the state has to prove motive. But you can make reasonable deductions from the evidence and how it applies to the intent, to the charge of the murder, to the charge of manslaughter, to self-defense. And I put to you that Karmelo Anthony had absolutely no motive other than he felt that he was in danger. He was in danger to harm Austin. It doesn't make sense that he came to the tent with some design to provoke a fight. It doesn't even make sense. Why would he provoke a fight against a kid who is much bigger than him? Facts. Who got a twin who is so much bigger than him? That is backed up by 20 of his brothers. Y'all, this is where common sense went out the window for the jury and also for all of the Karmelo Anthony to distract us. Why would Karmelo Anthony go under the enemy's tent when you got 20-something people or 15 people under that tent wearing the same uniform as the guy you come under there with the intentions to hurt? What? Oh my gosh, y'all. Mike Howard tried it. He did try. He tried to pin it in the jury's hand, even though his hands was tied. Let's see here. The closest backup you have is from Centennial is blank, blank, blank on the field 30 yards away. When you think about motive, remember everybody agreed that, here we go. When you think about motive, remember everybody agreed that Austin and Hunter and Melo Anthony has never met. There is no background. There is no animosity. And this is why we talk about on social media and all of this stuff being crazy, because the evidence is clear. These kids didn't even know each other. It's like it is not about race. Okay. As much as people on the outside may want to try to make it is on one side or another, it's not. Well, I can definitely say this. Even if Austin and Hunter and everybody else on the memorial tent didn't make it about race, the way that Collin County Judge John Roach, the way that state Bill Whiskey, and also Greg Willis handled this case, they made it about race. Because every one of those black potential jurors got struck down. And the way that you handled this case right here with Karmelo Anthony, a 17-year-old black boy that just moved to Texas 2 years ago, would you ever do a white kid just like this? So the kids on the memorial probably didn't make it about race, but everybody else that's in this case made it about race. Okay, let's keep going. Ain't no way they would have did this to a white kid. Ain't no way they would have did this to a white kid and those white parents. Picture this, y'all. A white set of parents, divorced, that is, paying $300,000 to $400,000 to a Mike Howard to get railroad. Do you think that would ever happen? We're talking about almost $500,000, which is what the Anthony paid to Mike Howard to defend Karmelo Anthony in his self-defense case. Let me keep reading. I don't know why they talk about, and Mike Howard, you too. Would you have done one of your white defendants like this? Would you even agree to this gentleman's agreement? If your defendant, if Karmelo Anthony was, let's say, if was Carl Crown, who else? A Miller, a white kid. Would have took almost $1 million from their white parent and agreed behind the scenes to railroad Karmelo Anthony? I'm gonna let it go only for this time. I don't know why we talk about, though, the government witnesses, you know, what happened in Dallas County crime in Minneapolis or Duncanville. I don't know. But what I do know is there is no evidence. Listen, y'all. I don't know. But what I do know is that there is no evidence that Karmelo did anything but really think he was defending himself in a split second of chaos. I want to call to your attention the medical examiner. Hold on. I want to call to your attention the medical examiner. Mr. Shook asked her about that lateral wound. And I could show you with the actual knife, but I would waste my time putting on gloves and doing all of that. And I am frankly not good with knives. So let me walk you through this. Come on with it. Whoa. Come on. She said it was a lateral wound. Almost perfectly lateral, just a little bit, but a tilt up, but definitely not vertical. So ask yourself, this little cap right here is the blade, okay? This little cap right here is the blade, okay? If I intentionally wanted to poke someone with an ice pick grip, some of us have seen in the movie Psycho, that is intentional. This is intentional. Both are vertical stab wounds. Whoa. They are both vertical stab wounds. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Do y'all see this right here? They are both vertical stab wounds. Mike Howard just said they are both vertical stab wounds. Austin had more than 2 wounds on his body. They are both vertical stab wounds. But the physical evidence is that this wound is this way, or maybe it is this way. But either way, it is a very awkward position to have yourself in. So ask yourself, this is the reasonable deduction from the evidence that it is in of itself, the direct physical evidence by the government's own medical examiner, is that this is a moment of defensive action. You don't intentionally poke somebody like that. Defense. You once again, my issue with the jury. Now knowing that it was a gentleman's agreement behind the scene, the jury still supposed they did their job and question everything like I told you. They supposed to scrutinize everything. So the jury, once again, 12 people within 30 minutes came back and said guilty over what? Even the medical examiner said, listen, it's not me, it's not Tony Talks vested up. We're not speaking in hypotheticals no more. Look at this. And of itself, the direct physical evidence by the government's own medical examiner is that this is a moment of a defensive action. You don't intentionally poke somebody like that. You do if you think you are losing time before it's too late to defend yourself. If you had your hand in the bag, you have your hand on the knife, you don't have the opportunity. You have the last second to defend yourself as he come at you and grabs you and hits you, and you do. The court, you have 5 minutes. Mr. Howard, the law requires you to put yourself in Melo's shoes. That is fact. So let's talk about it. It is raining. The tent is crowded. The Liberty tent is full. You walk over, Memorial. I know them. Okay, cool. I've been to that soccer game. I have multiple friends at Memorial. I have been under the tent before, just like the last meet. As you heard from Memorial kids and a Centennial kid. Oh, and wait, as I walk by, who I think is my friend, Eddie calls me over. I'm going to say Eddie calls me over. You know who may be the best, clearest example, whether he means to or not, how these Memorial kids are biased. And I think blank is very intentional. I think the rest, I understand where they are coming from. They lost a brother. I get it. But blank was willing to lie. Look. But blank was willing to lie about even the most insignificant details. I have only met this guy 2 or 3 times. Even to the officer, he called him the kid. But then, this had to be Eddie, y'all. He done called Eddie out. But I get it. But Eddie Parra was willing to lie about even the most significant details. I have only met this guy 2 or 3 times. This is what Eddie said. Even to the officer, he called him the kid. This is what Eddie said. Even then, when showing photos after photos of here's your grandma with Melo, here's your family with Karmelo, here's where he is playing baseball with the family, here's, the double date you went on, here's when you invited him to the soccer game, here's yet another family event, picture, and they are in evidence. You can see them. He still says 2 or 3 times. Oh, Eddie. Mike Howard ate you up. Oh, Eddie. Wait. Eddie. So that guy you thought was your friend invites you to sit down and you sit down. Well, here's proof that Eddie invited him to sit down under the tent. You think everything is okay. You're talking, everything is okay. Cranky weather, And then this guy tells you to leave, talking about Austin. You are not safe. You're not sure if he's for real at first, and then he's angry, and then he's more angry. And maybe you mouth off, but you're a 17-year-old dumb kid, and that makes him more angry. And now he's right in front of you. And if you turn your back, who knows what happened? And now his twin brother, who is even bigger than him, joins him. So this right here is proof that it was Hunter. This proves right here that it was Hunter that approached Karmelo Anthony first. And then it was Austin that took it to another level. Oh, Hunter, no wonder. Now, Hunter, this is James Duggar. You see this name right here? This is James Duggar account of this transcript, right? And she put these words in here. Hannah, no wonder you didn't testify. No wonder you wouldn't testify. No wonder even your name is redacted from this document, and you are 19 years old because you was the same age as Karmelo Anthony. Karmelo Anthony just turned 19 in May this year, and the twins would have turned 19th on July the 30th, 31st, about 2 weeks ago. Oh no, you a grown man right now, Hannah. You finna get called in this motion for a new trial. Let's keep going. Now his twin brother, who is even bigger than him, joins in. So Hannah was the first one that approached Karmelo Anthony. Get up! Oh, get up! Oh, Hannah. And now they are both after you. Look. And now they're both after you, telling you to leave. People are standing up. It done got hot under that tent. I told y'all, it done got hot under that tent. Austin stands up. If you don't move, I'll beat your ass. This is it now. This is court record. Austin said, if you don't move, I will beat your ass. Oh, okay. Oh, bet. Okay. Now, multiple sensitive memorial kids say, I also told him to leave. Yeah, me too. Now, we all have the choirs of people, but it's too late to turn your back because of what's going on. If y'all hear that, that's the air condition. Because that's what's going on. I don't know, but you remain seated. Karmelo Anthony remained seated the whole entire time. Even when Austin stands, you remain seated. Even when Austin threatens to beat your ass, you remain seated. You put your hand in the bag. Now, we heard about provoking. Now, y'all saying, well, what about putting the hand in the bag? Well, see, this is what Mike Howard is saying, that the witnesses got on the stand to say that Karmelo Anthony put his hands in the bag. Now, we already know that Hunter said we took his book bag. So, hey, Karmelo Anthony, if he went into his bag, he was in there quick like lightning before they could snatch his bag. Let's see here. Now we heard about provoking. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. 1 second. Let me turn off this AC. Let's see here. Oh yeah. I got to turn off the AC. Now we heard about provoking. I put my hand in my bag. Every kid who testified saw it as a warning, a buff, back off, don't come over here. He didn't hide that. He didn't, yeah, man, come over here. No. He showed his hand in his bag. Okay. Now, when they said, you ain't got nothing in that bag, I do have something in that bag. You heard that from a memorial kid. The court, 1 minute, Mr. Howard, 1 minute. Thank you, Judge. Okay, so they telling him, hey, you only got 1 more minute to finish your closing argument. Even when we get to touch him, even when we get to the touch me and find out, ladies and gentlemen, if you look in the eyes and I repeatedly tell you, don't touch me, I really do have something in my bag, and you say no, Austin called his bluff. You don't, and you start coming at me, and I say, touch me and find out with my hand in my bag. As I look you in the eye, this is the ultimate warning. It is not provocation. It is an ultimate back off. The government case comes down to whether Melo used force. Use of force was legally justified in his shoes during that split second of chaos. So ask yourself, what was going to happen next when Austin grabbed him and did the lineman drill with him? Was he going to de-escalate and let him go? Who knows? It is reasonable to feel that he wouldn't. Is it reasonable to feel that he wouldn't? Is it reasonable to fear that this was going to be this? I don't know. You heard from a bunch of 17 and 16 and 17 and 18-year-old kids that this was provoking, that it wasn't self-defense. Oh my gosh. You got teenagers trying to define something where they don't even know the definition of nothing. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, we have a jury system for a reason. It is your job and your job alone to decide. Those kids are kids and understandably miss and love their buddy. But you know, they don't know the law, which is facts. You guys now know the law. You've been given the law, and you have told us that you will follow the law. And that is that the government must rule out every logical, possible, reasonable doubt, including self-defense. Come on with it. Mr. Howard, thank you, Your Honor. And I will end with this. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we are ever going to know exactly what happened under the tent. Oh, yes, we do, Mike Howard, because once the new legal team comes in, and get that motion for a new trial granted, that crystal clear video will have to be brought into evidence because of the Brady disclosure. It is there. What Tony Talks vested up, how you know it was there? Because if you made a video and you was able to remove personnel or try to distort personnel out of the video because they was minors, that means that the original video will be shown and will have to be turned over to the new legal team, the Brady disclosure. Brady versus Maryland of 1989. That's what we've been doing over here for the last 62 days, breaking it down like this, day after day, every other day, whenever I go live. And talking about Karmelo Anthony, we're breaking down the law. Come on with it. Even though you have 15 or whatever Memorial kids with all of their stories and all of how convoluted it is, even though they all agree it was a self-degree, come on with it, and all agree it was provocation. First of all, how do a bunch of 15-year-olds know what provocation means in terms of law? Stop playing. They were coached. Wrong or right, they are 17-year-old kids. We don't ask the descended friends who is right or wrong and make a decision based on that. This is America. We have a jury system and we respect your job. And I ask you to do it and hold the government to its burden of proof. He missed out a word, burden of proof. And ask yourself that one question: have they ruled out every logical, possible, reasonable doubt, including self-defense? No, they didn't. And I submit to you that they haven't. And I really appreciate your service. The court, thank you, Mr. Howard, Mr. Wilski, Mr. Wiki. May it please the court counsel. Just a few remarks about what you think you heard. Do not let them turn a threat into a warning. Do not let them turn a taunting, provocation, provoking threat into some type of benign warning. You heard the testimony. You know it was a threat. It wasn't a warning. It was a threat. Oh, so this right here is Mr. Wilkie's closing arguments. Hold on. It's been 2 hours, y'all. I tell you what, because of the light of this information, and thank you to Nikki. Thank you to Nikki. Thank you to Nikki White, whoever you are behind the scenes. Thank you for bringing this out to me tonight. Now, if it took almost an hour plus to read the state's closing arguments, I don't want to take no more of your time because it's already after 10 o'clock tonight. So I promise you, tomorrow night, instead of coming on at 8, I'm going to come in on 7 p.m. and let's go ahead and read the prosecution, the government's closing argument. Because Mike Howard, to my surprise, a lot of good information came out of there. You confirmed some stuff. You can confirm some stuff. Now, the only thing that I hate that was left out of Mike Howard's closing arguments, according to Jane Duggar, right? And yes, I'm overemphasizing her name on purpose, right? Because she started messing up some of his sentences in the beginning. Is that now, Jane, Well, we haven't saw all of the witness testimony, but we know that Hunter said him and Austin took Karmelo Anthony book bag. They took it, and that's the only thing. And you know what? Maybe the witnesses left that out. Maybe the witnesses intentionally left that out, the 15 other witnesses. But to this witness right here, y'all, and I want to leave y'all on this right here. To this witness right here, to this witness here that had to take the SAT, you told it all. Oh, you told it all. Hold on. To this witness right here, I should have got, I should have got that page number right here. Hold on. So this kid that had to take the SAT. Oh my God, you told it everything. You told it everything. Let me see here. SAT. SAT. Here it go. Oh, I was on the page. I actually was on the page. On page 26. So this kid right here, may God bless you. I hope you scored well on your SAT. And thank you for just coming to court and telling it is exactly what it is. Because even Mike Howard highlighted you. And we heard a lot of accounts from the kids under the tent, all memorial kids. So this let us know that everybody under the tent, they were biased in their testimony. But I would tell you, blank, I know there was 30-something witnesses. You may not remember him specifically, but that poor young man who had to go take the SAT and then come down here and testify. The state didn't call him. Now we know why the state didn't call him. And then he says the defense did. So, okay. So this was the witness that I heard that was going to make the prosecution feel uneasy. This is that student, y'all. This is that student. So even after the jury heard this student's account, nobody on that jury said, "No, I'm not guilty. I don't have enough evidence to say guilty." And I feel terrible doing it, but this is the most important days in everybody's lives. And bless him. He did what he needed to do. He came down here and told the clearest, the most neutral and fair story. When asked about what he said back then, and yes, that's what happened. What did he say? Mike, listen, this kid must have recounted everything because Mike Howard even highlighted this kid in closing arguments. He said, this is what the kid said, the SAT kid said. He said, Austin, as this is triggering and escalating and getting more and more heated, that Austin stands up and says, if you don't move, I will move you. Or if you don't move, I will beat your ass. I think that says a lot. If you're putting yourself in Melo's shoes as the law requires you to, and that's true as a jury, you do have to put yourself in the defendant's shoes. To what fear you have been dealing with as a much smaller person with a much larger person who is getting more and more angry and threatening to beat your ass. And as Officer Katori asked, Officer Shaz, Riley, and our friend number 19 from the jury selection, who was also an officer, told you a punch by itself can cause death or serious bodily injury, especially when you're so much bigger and stronger. And as those very officers, Officer Cortez, Shalez, and I know I told his name, and Officer Riley all told you, as much as we like it or not, Texas law is very clear. Even a 17-year-old can have a 5.5-inch knife, or under a pocket knife, a utility tool, a Leatherman, just like, listen, y'all see this right here? A Leatherman, just like the one he had. Y'all see where Mike Howard put that sentence at? A Leatherman, just like the one he had. A utility tool, a Leatherman, just like the one Karmelo Anthony had. which was only 3.5 inches in a public place. So Tony, how you know it's called what they call it? What they call it? I forgot what they call it when you're omitting in multiple choices, omission or whatever. So he just said that the one that Karmelo Anthony had was 3.5 inches, right? So he didn't have 5.5. He didn't even have that. A pocket knife. Karmelo Anthony had a utility tool, a Leatherman, just like the one he had, which was 3.5 inches in a public place. This right here. So page 26. And let's not forget this. 2. Mike Howard said in his closing statement, Austin had 2 wounds, vertical wounds. Don't you do it. Come on. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Oh no, don't you do it. Here we go. 2 wounds. 2. Hold on. Was it 2? Let's see, wounds. Come on. Y'all know where I'm trying to get to. Don't do it. Okay. 2 wounds. Here we go. Oh, I ain't read this right here. Hold on. Remember when I asked Dr. Ventura? Oh, this was her name. Were there defensive wounds? And she said no. What else did I ask her? The person that has to see it coming. If you see a knife coming at you, I guarantee you are going to throw up hands. That's what the doctor described. Did Austin Metcalf have defensive wounds? He never saw it coming. Y'all, this right here, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. That's why it couldn't have been Karmelo, y'all. And y'all know I accidentally stumbled upon this. This is why it couldn't have been Karmelo, because Karmelo was sitting down the whole entire time. We already read that. Karmelo Anthony was sitting down the whole entire time. And Austin was here, standing above him. So he would have saw the knife. So once again, I said somebody came over and delivered the chest wound. Hold on. What page is this? Hold on. What page is this? 46. So we haven't even got to this part. So this must be part of the government's, the state's closing arguments. But hold on. Let's not forget about the 2 wounds. Here we go. Mike Howard right here. This is on page 31. Let's not forget this. So we already said that Mike, the testimony, a kid even said that he was behind Karmelo. So Karmelo Anthony was surrounded, right? Austin, the kid, the SAT kid, said that, yeah, Austin. It got hotter and hotter, and Austin was the one that said, if you don't move, I'll beat your ass. I'm going to try to get that clip where Jeff Metcalf almost said that, but he didn't. Jeff, you didn't think this was about to come out. Hold on. And then here we go. I called to your attention. I want to call your attention to the medical examiner. Mr. Shook asked her about that lateral wound. As I could show you with the actual knife, but I would waste my time putting on gloves and doing all of that. And I'm frankly not good with knives, but we already know why they didn't bring the knives, because of the gentleman's agreement. It was agreed not to even introduce the knife, but he tried to play that off. Also, for everybody who also thinks that Mike Howard affidavit is total BS, why they didn't bring the knife to court. Think about it. Listen. So let me walk you through this. She said it was a lateral wound, almost perfect lateral, just a little bit, but a tilt up, but definitely not vertical. So ask yourself, this little cap right here is the blade, right? Okay. So if I intentionally want to hit somebody with an ice pick grip, like an ice pick grip. Some of us have seen the movie Psycho. This is intentional. Listen now, this is intentional. They were both vertical stab wounds. Why is he referring to Austin's body wounds? Multiple wounds. You know why I'm smiling, right? At the same time, and this is why I'm smiling, what if at the same time Karmelo Anthony had his utility knife saying, don't do it, don't come, don't do it. Somebody saw the perfect opportunity to pull out theirs and go for Austin, because the essay, as Mike Howard has put it in, the essay kid has said it was chaos. It was getting hot. It was getting heated. Everybody was standing up. Everybody was standing up. And somebody else in the crowd said, oh my gosh, this is my time to strike. Ooh, Austin didn't see it coming. While Austin was trying to intimidate Karmelo Anthony while standing up over him, somebody was going slow motion behind Austin or to the side of him and was just waiting for the perfect opportunity to hit him. And y'all, it didn't come when Karmelo hit him. It didn't come because Austin must have been in shock because Karmelo went up. But let's not forget what happened when Karmelo and Anthony went up and was looking down. Oh, that second fight occurred under the tent. Why nobody ain't talk about a second fight? Hold on. Let me just do a very quick, and I'm coming back tomorrow night. I just want to do another quick. I want to do a quick search for the word fight. This is it. Hold on. Let me see if somebody talk about another fight. So it's 14 entries of fight. No one thinks a fight is going to break out. Let's see here. Austin didn't want to fight. Okay. Austin didn't want to fight. I'm not going to fight you, bro. He didn't sense there was going to be a fight because Austin didn't want to fight. Okay. But what the SAT student said. Okay. I'm not going to fight you, bro. Austin didn't want to fight. Keep going. Austin didn't want to fight. Oh, this memorial. Everyone was seated. Austin didn't want to fight. No one was surrounding Karmelo. Listen. This is going to be good. What page is this? Oh, this is the prosecution pages. This was the prosecution pages. Oh, I see why. Oh. Listen, but everybody said they were surrounding Karmelo. Gotcha, prosecution. Let's see here. I'm not going to fight you. Austin said multiple times. Austin was not willing to fight. Oh my gosh, Bill Whiskey. Oh my gosh, Bill Whiskey. Whoa. Hold on. Oh my God. I'm so tempted. Hold on. Anthony got irritated. Make me move. Touch me and see what happened. He was instigating. He was stubborn. He was refused to leave. Austin was not angry. Did y'all see? Oh my gosh, this is about to be good tomorrow. I'm not going to fight. Let's see. I'm not going to fight. Austin didn't want to fight. Oh my gosh, this is going to be good. It doesn't make sense that he came to the tent with us. Okay. So this right here is, okay, this was Bill's Mike Howard. So Mike Howard is the first one that brought up a fight. Tomorrow night, y'all. Tomorrow night. And once again, thank you, Nikki. It's been 2 hours and 8 minutes. Thank you, Nikki, for telling me it was out there. Thank you. And let me show you where it is. Because listen, even though I'm coming back tomorrow night for part 2, let me go ahead and show you exactly where. Here it is. Go get them. Type in, thank you once again, Nikki. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. www. Collins County. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this right here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it right down here. In the, I just paste a link for y'all, everybody that want to go out and get them. Go out and get volume. So scroll down to the bottom. If you forget about it, just go Collins County, Texas.gov. Just type in Google State of Texas versus Karmelo Anthony, Sincere Anthony. State of Texas versus Karmelo Anthony. And then this is the web page, and you're going to go down, and they have actually updated the website. And then you're going to get for free, not $2,500, for free. You're going to get volume 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. They are withholding 1, 2, 3, and 9. So I take that. I take this about 50%. Pretty sure everything in here. And then you see the updated things. Now, when we went out there, I think it was the 26th or the 21st. The only thing that was updated was Exhibit 4 and Exhibit 9, which is only Exhibit 4 is Judge Roach 18-minute interview, and then I said Exhibit 9 was like a 6-minute video that somebody else had did in their car. But that's it, y'all. But that's it. So I'm gonna take about 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. And go to the chat. Oh my gosh. The full scripts are online for free now. This is when we started reading, huh? Hey, how you doing, Queen? How you doing? Roach himself acknowledged there was an agreement. Facts. People unfortunately didn't pay. People unfortunately did pay. And after the money was sent and the transcript was mailed out, that's what I'm saying, Nikki. That's what I'm saying. That's important. What Mike Howard leave out affidavit is Mike playing chess. Come on with it. Shirley, what's up, Shirley? I have seen some of the transcripts up to the point they asked Karmelo if he had enough time. Okay, we read that too. Hey, how you doing? It's gonna be a fear. It's gonna be theory in that courtroom. Come on with it. Karmelo asked to use the bathroom, which included in 30 minutes. Karmelo parents was in the office when Howard explained to him about testifying. Okay, thank you for that. Okay. Did Karmelo's father say they agreed Karmelo would not testify? Not sure. Put them all on the stand. Come on, Linda. The way these transcripts sound, they were fixed to offset Mike's Howard testimony. Yes, it was, Destin. Yes, it was. Correct. Wills thought Mike Holt signed an NDA while he was... But you know what? NDA, this is what I learned. NDA does not cover illegal crimes. This was a legal injustice and crime against Karmelo Anthony. Remember the Diddy trials? Remember the Diddy trials where everybody had to sign NDAs? Well, it came out. NDAs, what's the terms I'm looking for? NDAs cannot be withheld in a court of law when a crime is being committed. That's, in so many words, that's what it is. An NDA cannot be used to cover up a crime when crimes is committed. So even if Mike Howard, let's say, signed an NDA or whatever the case may be, a crime was committed against Karmelo Anthony, his laws were violated. He didn't get a fair trial, which is against the law. Yeah. We come back tomorrow. That's what Willis said during his TV interview, all scripted. Come on with it. They always claim to be fair and acting in good faith. Come on with it. Come on. This is treacherous. Anytime you go against the rights of we the people, Karmelo's rights were broken, and Roach used his position to break the law and Karmelo's rights. Come on with it. Yes, he has to explain why he wrote the document. Come on with it. In the transcript, they was not called because of the gentleman's agreement, right? If the affidavit not real, well, hold Mike Howard to the court and testify to the validity of it. Come on with it. That's right. Mike Howard's affidavit was notarized and signed. Yes, it was on a Sunday. Let's not forget that. It was signed on a Sunday. It was signed on the July the 5th was a Sunday, okay? It's treason. Come on with it. That's why they say any witness for the defense are not credible. They take out exculpatory evidence and then present it on a one-sided case. Hey, how you doing, Flo? How you doing? Yes, Tony, they have. Tony, if we know all the good that Karmelo Anthony did, they did too. That's why they kept it out of court. Come on, how you doing? Come on. $2,500 is crazy. I was able to get the full transcript. Right, for $7, you're right. I was able to get the full transcript of my husband's trial on a thumb drive sent straight to my house for like $7. Yes. But guess what? They must have, listen, they released them and I got them. So go to the website and download them. Oh, hold on. So y'all can see them. There we go right here. 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I take that. And tomorrow we're going to start back on page, I think it was 30 or 40, whatever. Mike, Howard will see you in court, Willis. This is going to be messy. The public needs to be able to see the proceedings. And I pray that Sid L. Harl do a live stream. Man, please do a live stream. It should be, yeah, that's how many pages it was. So this volume here was 298. Let's see here. 298. Let's see, go back. This right here was 347 pages for volume 5. What volume is this? Volume 6 is 335 pages. Woo! We got a lot to talk about before next week. That's a good thing. Volume 7 is 127 pages. Let's see what's in this short one. Direct by these are witnesses called. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about, y'all. Okay, let's see, 126 pages. That's it. And let's see, volume 8 is how many pages? 95. 95. Oh, is that the one I opened up? Oh, I went straight. Oh, y'all. Yeah. That's the one I read from tonight, y'all, was volume 8. Okay, I ain't know that. Volume 8, y'all, that's the one that we read from tonight. 95 pages. I can take that. Yes, thank you, Nikki. Yes, bless your heart. And who at the right time, at the right place. I never seen you over here before, but thank you, though. Thank you, Nikki. Please kindly hit the like button and press some hearts. Y'all just please go crazy. Please go crazy with the hums in the hundreds. Just wee. That's all I want. And tonight was not my fault, StreamYard, but since I know it happened tonight at 8, tomorrow 7 p.m. We going over the prosecution closing arguments. I want to see what they gotta say. I apologize, y'all. I thought it was all of that. No, you good. You are good. Between all these documents right here, we probably got about 700 pages. You are good. 700 pages, we good. I'm vested up and ready tonight. What's going to happen? God is not going to play with them. God is going to get right. And Karmelo Anthony is going to be free. And let's not forget, Queen, and everybody else in here that's vested up. Let's not forget next Thursday is the motion for a new trial. And at that time, the judge can say Karmelo Anthony is released with conditions or no conditions. The old verdict can be thrown out and they can say Karmelo Anthony is released with conditions. Y'all, live stream or not. Now for the motion to recuse John Roach is scheduled, let's say, they say maybe a half a day. But the motion for a new trial is going to be an all-day event. And trust me, y'all, I'm going to be live stream. I'm going to be waiting, just waiting for something to come out of there if it's not live stream. But I pray to God that is live stream. The content, let's see here. A content creator said the 2 upcoming hearings are limited to the public just as before. Hey, how you doing? Y'all go ahead and hit the likes and the hearts. Just go ahead and hit the heart or the 100. It looks like they have to put the entire script. Anybody? It's okay. Hey, so they didn't put, they probably got about 500 pages, but I'll take these 700 pages. Hey, Shirley, if you're still in here, these are all the volumes, 5 volumes. Please go out there now, just in case they want to remove a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 volumes, probably about 700 pages if you add them all together, okay? And this right here is the website. I can't wait. This is the website here. Collin County, Texas, and just Google state of Texas versus Karmelo Sincere Anthony. I can't wait to see Karmelo, and I hope he is looking well and handsome as ever. Show them the power of God. Thank you so much, Tony. God bless you. What's up, Katie? How you doing, Katie? Karmelo did have a right to sit under the tent. There ain't the rules or laws against it. It was raining in the centennial tent. It had not been installed, and if he wanted to be sheltered from the rain, come on with it. They got to stop the game, baby. This case supposed to have been buried along with Karmelo, but God said, hold up. God says, hold on, all the power in his hands. Come on with it. His shirt, how he shields the first link was the second page. Yeah. Okay, so y'all been digging. That's right. Y'all been digging. They will put up a light defense because in front of the court, they act as though they are fighting for the defendants, even though they decide behind the scenes. That's why I think that, stage play. All right. I'm going to hold you about 10 more minutes. Let me go down to the bottom. Ooh, God dang, that stars. Oh, Eddie planned it. Yes, Eddie planned it. Y'all been in here with me. I think you need to look it up. I'll miss something. Let's see it. Cheerleader, you on to something. What did cheerleader say? Gosh, I wish I could say something. Okay, hold on. No. I don't really think that Eddie did anything. I think he's probably going to tell the truth, but he was threatened because whatever Karmelo was threatening with Eddie could have been. Well, Mike Howard show said that Eddie said he didn't know Karmelo Anthony. I'm from East Brooklyn, New York. How would you get to him? Let's see here. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Miss Melma? Anybody knows that sports knows that this was biased case. Karmelo was a rival team athlete. Did you see the phone text from him? Because the only thing I heard was that he has been on this end. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I see. It's been heating up in the chat, son. Even though the witness some stated that they were bullied by also the Metcalf himself, but they over a period of time found a way to de-escalate and recognize when they were being triggered. And guess what? Since Mike Howard said, and it has been also stated in these documents that the boys didn't know Karmelo and Karmelo didn't know the twins. That means Karmelo Anthony, he didn't know them. He didn't know how to escalate them. He didn't know they was real. He didn't know if they was serious. He didn't know what to do. But he said, oh no, I'm going to defend myself. Come on with it. They have to put themselves in your shoes, and they have to be able to set aside their own feelings and bias. Come on with it. Facts. There's this one girl who was being criticized by a white lady, and her friend pulled out a phone, and people criticized her friend for it, like she was supposed to do, jump in and be in jail. Those hypocrites are still mad about OJ, even though he was a critic, but the jury's always right. Thanks. Let's see here. What's going on? Man, Mitch, stay in your basement and enjoy my company. What's been going on? Listen, okay, I'm about to do the replay tomorrow and see what was going on in the chat. But tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m., 7 o'clock, be sharp. And I'm going to go on early just to make sure StreamYard got my live going. Indeed, of getting help for their low impulse triggers, most of their victims fold, befriended, or went or ran away. So this was what they did, bullies, and unfortunately for Austin, it did end well, right? Let's see. What size was the replica knife? That's a good point. Well, they put that in, Bunny, because you remember the knife was not going to be introduced. But according to the testimony, I wish I remember that page. According to the testimony, the one that Karmelo Anthony had was 3. Oh, well, hold on. I know what Leatherman. I remember that specific word. Leatherman. Come on, baby. Karmelo Anthony had a Leatherman. And why did the medical examiner talk about 2 vertical wounds? Did y'all catch that? Come on, Leather. Did y'all catch that the medical examiner talked about 2 wounds? Listen. A utility tool, a Leatherman, just like the one he had, which was 3.5 inches in a public place. Cheerleaders, let me see here. Austin and Hunter had a map. Listen, 2 vertical wounds. 2 vertical wounds. Hold on, for anybody that want to know the page about the Leatherman, that's on page 27. And then we got wounds. Okay. Here we go. And about the wombs, they are both vertical wombs. Page 31. Page 31. Let's see here. Okay, I got 6 more minutes. They'll definitely need expert witnesses to speak on those 2 wounds. Come on with it, Flo. I didn't even know your chat was gonna be here. All those boys surrounding him, and no one saw Karmelo being Come on with it. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up, because as we're gonna read tomorrow, and we saw a little bit that when I brought up the knife or the fight or something. So they're trying to say that Karmelo Anthony poked Austin without him seeing it. Which is why neither one of these wounds are defensive wounds. So I raised the question again. If we got testimony that Karmelo Anthony never got up, like I'm sitting down here, if Karmelo Anthony never got up, and I'm looking up at Austin, who is almost double my size, because think of it, if Karmelo Anthony, it says 130 times 2, that's 260. Austin and Hunter is about 230 pounds. So you got somebody double your size. And you mean to tell me that Austin was so big that he didn't see Karmelo's hand with a poker? Nah, that came from the back. Somebody saw the perfect time to hit Austin after Karmelo did whatever he did to him. That came from I still say that came over the shoulder, just like this. Remember the angle, just like this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up that picture tomorrow. Remember the angle in Austin's chest was at a diagonal, right? I don't know why he said vertical, but what we saw on that white medical examiner's thing, it was just like this. Let me stop. I definitely don't want that energy on my chest. Oh, God bless me. I don't want that energy on my chest. All those boys surrounding him, and no one saw Karmelo Anthony and didn't see the weapon in their hand. Come on with it. They got what they wanted, a conviction, and still are miserable. And guess what? It's going to be overturned. Let's see, the boys sure did, and they knew this. Just said that they lynched. Yes, Bay Power. Yes. Karmelo, you are the truth. Come on with it. Flo, you know it. Hunter accidentally harmed his brother. This is why he was absent from the court and didn't take the witness stand. Karmelo coming home, 2 stab wounds and 2 different. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. He is talking about a movie in Austin, I believe, the Psycho movie. Yeah. He sure is. Judge Rose thought he was going to be a celebrity. This is the last time they mess with one of us. Come on with it. Welcome to the room, Bay Power. I don't be listen. I'm gonna try to go through. So currently I'm working remotely and I'm actually traveling. So I'm gonna try to go through it tomorrow if I get off early. But we definitely gonna read the tonight. We read the defense closing statements. Tomorrow's gonna be the prosecution closing statements, and I'm gonna try to do some more digging. In wrongful convictions, they are taken out of exculpatory evidence. So if the poker showed anything that wasn't in their favor, they would leave it out or just use circumstantial evidence to convict. Well, thank you for that. In a wrongful convictions, they take out the exculpatory evidence. So if the poker show anything that wasn't in their favor, they would leave it out. I told y'all, they realized that when the wrong knife got out, we can't introduce that. Too many people saw the knife, and if we bring the knife to court, they would know it's not the one that's circulating online. So now we're just gonna leave the whole knife out. We ain't gonna tell them there was 2. And we gonna try to make it seem like the one that's been circulating online is the one that Karmelo had, which Karmelo Anthony had a Leatherman. We just saw that in the closing argument. Oh my gosh, they did this dirty. Listen, when the judge, oh my gosh, I wish it was televised. Oh, I wish at least the second motion for a new trial was. Oh my, well, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. This could be a reason why they're not going to televise the motion for a new trial. Hold on. Let me explain myself. This is, so if they don't televise a live stream, the motion for a new trial, it just came to me on why that may be the case. Well, see, I'm assuming since it has already, listen. Now, since it has already been stated that for next week, neither of the motions will be live streamed. I think I know why. Whoever, and that's why they haven't released the judge's name, whoever, because the judge has been assigned the motion for a new trial. Whoever that is already giving a soft green light that he or she is going to grant a new motion. Now, the reason why they're not going to live stream it, now watch now, if it'll make sense. Because if you live stream the motion for a new trial, they may discuss some information that they don't want to get out to potential jurors. So you remember the issue with the first trial is that it took 14 months for Karmelo Anthony to get his day in court, even though it was a setup. And then it was called jury misconduct, or the jury had been poisoned by all of this information. So this is what they're doing. Somebody already got the green light that the motion for a new trial will be granted. So instead of giving the public some of the information that the defense team is going to discuss, even though it's going to be let into the public, and then some people's going to be in the overflow room, it won't get out to the masses. So it won't be too much of the jury poisoning. That's what I'm going to say. If it says that, just watch. But thank you for that, OG prison wife. Thank you. Or maybe they tried to get Karmelo and he got out of the way in time when he went up there. Facts. You remember I talked about the swing? I talked about the swing. Bay powder, this is going to be an example. Don't mess with us. Yes. Snakes come in all shapes. Come on with it. Multiple stab wounds. No one witnessed Karmelo with a weapon, nor did they see Karmelo jab. After Karmelo went up and out of the tent, that's when Austin was hit. Now listen. Let's not forget, when it comes to this Leatherman here, it said that's the one that Karmelo Anthony had, right? Now I still got to read all the other pages, but just because he had it, that don't mean he used it. So he had it, that don't mean he used it. But we should see. Racist bigot can't understand them clear, folks. Barbell me neither. We all seen him walk at Karmelo on the video. Facts. Hunter snaked his own brother, then got out. Ooh. Hey, Brownie. Tony, what you just said, I've been saying from the get-go. Okay, well, how you doing, Brian? When Karmelo ran up the stairs, he definitely looked down at the scene as if something crucial just had occurred. And yes. Come on with it. Queen, I enjoyed tonight. It was very good, y'all. It was a good thing. You tomorrow at 7. Touch me and see what happened. Isn't instigating for those who aren't really trying to fight. Come on with it. He was trying to bluff. That's what my 2 emails was about. The opposed and the transcript. Okay, I gotta go back and see it. So what they did was use the initial stop. Oh, from last week, Shirley. Okay. What they did was use the initial stop and look to say he dropped the non-bloody setup. Facts. Makes sense. Mello ran up. Come on with it. All of that Austin did not want to fight. But the video showed them fighting even. Come on with it. Who, me? Come on with it. Hold on. Yo, man. Oh my God, this is so good tonight. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, hold on. The one tool they found was partially closed. Could Karmelo have believed he made contact? Not sure. Not sure. No one, no witness, Karmelo did the poke because he didn't poke the twins. I like to know, can a judge and a lawyer be charged? Oh, yes, Georgette. We already went over that, Georgette. We tore that up about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're talking about serious punishments, especially for Judge Roach. Oh, yes. Oh, we've been doing homework over here. Serious, and the prosecution too. And the prosecution can be charged, Judge Roach can be charged, and Mike Howard. But I think Mike Howard, he's the whistleblower. So I think he's going to get published, but it's not going to be as serious as it could have. Oh, yes. Oh, we done did our homework over here. Yes. Matter of fact, I can pull those slides up. I try to pull them up tomorrow, but yes. Oh, yes. Browning and took his football position. I hope when Karmelo releases that, everyone lands them involved with doing this harm to him, run him down into justice. Come on with it. Yes, sister, speaking to existence, be gone, roach rat. No blood was on his, not a single blood. I'm trying to tell you. And witness the drip on his finger, and that was his own blood. Remember, and it changed his clothes. Come on with it. Exactly, this Eddie guy. And somebody threw something in the trash and went back and retrieved it. I think it was drugs, okay? I think it was drugs. There was not a blood. Come on with it. Come on with it, Cindy. Right. What they talking about? Thank God John Roach is dead. Come on with it. Eddie changed his clothes so quick. I wonder why. And let's not forget what the parents said. The parents said on the Breakfast Club interview is that Eddie, after the incident was over, they said, guess who came up to Karmelo Anthony and wanted to fight him after the incident? They said the one that's supposed to be his friend. So Eddie, you uninvited Karmelo Anthony up in the stands. All this occurred because you uncalled the twins allegedly to come over there. And then after all this goes down, you got DNA on your clothes, but you want to fight Karmelo Anthony. And when they take Karmelo Anthony away, you take it off your clothes, boy. Now, how did you get the blood on your clothes, Eddie? How did you? Because nobody's testified or said that you attempted to help Austin. We're going to see this. When you said accidentally and inferred that the intention was to jab Karmelo, and yet he moved quickly and he jabbed his brother instead. That is facts. That is fact. That's what I said. I heard it was Eddie too. Come on with it. Karmelo looked like a drip of blood on his hoodie. Looks like as small as the cut on his finger. And that's what I'm thinking. If it was his blood, he just did this right here. It's still with enough blood because that blood in Austin clothes, whoo, massive. Or was it Eddie? They left a lot out. Maybe that's right. Let's not forget about, they said that he was in a headlock. So how could he reach up in the chest to hit him at that angle? That's why I said, if you wasn't a headlock and you had something, you would have been legs, stomach, knees, toes, feet, knees, ankles, shins, calves. Even at that angle, how you gonna hit somebody? I still say no. I think Hunter did it accidentally. Yes, Tanya. I think he was intentional. You know how these people are. Yes, Tanya. Yes, Tanya. Yes, Tanya. Yes. Didn't it? That's what I just said, Shirley. Sitting, it would be a poke in the abdominal. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. It wasn't Hunter. I'm going to say yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes. Never heard of two wounds. You see it right here? What was that page? That was page 31. They were both vertical stab wounds. We're going to get into that tomorrow. When the forensic experts would examine those two wounds, they could tell if it was the same knife or two separate weapons. And listen, we got to get into that. I got to go find, her name is Dr. Ventura. I got to do a search for her name. It was a Leatherman. That's what they said, Leatherman. Mel, they should know by now because we stay deep. I heard early on another channel, somebody said that he was stabbed in the chest and the side. See, Starlet, I can see that in the side from Karmelo. I can see that. That's probably why he said, oh, well, he's not going to die. See, because where Karmelo and Anthony probably hit him at real quick, that's not in the chest. That's not in the chest. So I think somebody came up over him, came from Austin back, or like this from the side, was aiming at somebody or struck Austin in the chest, or somebody intentionally came over the back and boom. Come on with it. And let's not forget, they didn't bring the official autopsy to trial. Everybody, don't you know that's odd? You didn't bring the knife. You didn't bring the autopsy. You didn't even bring the toxicology. Now, y'all, you don't bring the toxicology report to a poking, unaliving. A poking, unaliving. That's why it goes back to all of those rumors that we heard in the first week or the second week that the primary cause of death was a OD. Toxicology report, okay? Okay, y'all. Okay, cue the pie. It'd be an exception for me. Just leave the people still coming over here messing with us. Yes, they need an expert doctor. And Jana, that's what Mike Howard said in an affidavit, that he had expert witnesses lined up, but the prosecution said no, because it would be in favor of Karmelo Anthony character, reputation, and extra, or I forgot the word, evidence. They said no. The prosecution said no. Even the judge said no. 2 wounds, 2 knives. Come on with it, Mel. The Chose would beat their supporters here. No, nah, 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and make the I gotta go make the live stream. I'm gonna make this live stream. I'm gonna leave on this. God, please release Karmelo Anthony and clear him of all these charges, y'all. I'm gonna go. I gotta update this title. I gotta update the thumbnail. Y'all, thank y'all so much for an awesome night. Ooh, had to turn the air condition on and everything. But y'all, thank you. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We're going over the oh gosh. Oh, y'all ain't got me laughing. The prosecution's closing statements. And like I said, this came out of volume 8, 95 pages. But if you want to go ahead and download the whole entire set, please, volume 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you go to the Collin County, Texas Gov. Here it is again. I'm gonna post it here. And just in case the link doesn't work for you, just Google Collin County, State of Texas, Karmelo Anthony. Come to this website here, scroll down to the bottom and download, okay? All together, it's about 600 or 700 pages, okay? And tonight, we read the defense closing statements, volume 8. Thank you so much, Nikki, to whoever you are. Thank you. And praise God. God, release Karmelo Anthony and clear him of all charges. Amen. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock tonight. And until next time, make sure you go to get your notes, your drink, and your vest. And stay vested up over here at Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge. We're doing this thing. 9 more days. 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 The 19th, motion to recuse John Roach. August the 20th, motion for a new trial. And August the 21st, Nat Turner, historic anniversary of the U.S. biggest slave revolution in history. And what if the judge that's going to grant Karmelo Anthony the new trial will release that announcement on the 21st. Oh, my. All right, Vesters. Until next time. God, this was good tonight. All right, Vesters. Owen, where is it? Where my mouse at? All right, everybody sleep well, sleep late. Oh, I'm ending on 2:12. I like that number. Shador Sanders. Come on with it. Shador Sanders.